Hey guys, you're listening to the Influencer CEO podcast. Today, we're going to talk about something really cool that I've become very interested in, and that's tarot cards and how they can actually help you in your life and also in your business. All right, let's get started. Hi, I'm Gina Kershaw, a former criminal defense attorney that has helped thousands of women get back on their feet and move forward after challenging times in their lives. Building on that experience, I have spent the last 15 years mentoring, counseling, and coaching women to see their true potential and take action toward living their dreams. This podcast shows women how they can have an impact for good by sharing their own journeys through social media and blogs, and how to use that influence to create businesses that have true and lasting success. This is the Influencer CEO podcast. So, like I said at the beginning, I recently discovered tarot cards. And honestly, I've always been kind of intrigued about them, but when I was a kid, I grew up hearing that they were bad in some way. Of course, I was also taught that playing cards were bad, so I don't know what that says, but I was pretty much too scared to ever really investigate or go get a reading or anything like that. But a few years ago, I was on a yoga retreat, and a friend of mine brought out a tarot deck and read a few cards, and I found out that it was actually really, really cool. So I did a bit of research on my own, and I found this really fun deck called the Good Tarot. And the reason why I liked that particular deck was because it was all about positive thoughts and positive affirmations. And it was just kind of fun to pull a card every now and then and just read it, get some inspiration. And it was also fun to share with other women. And what I found was that people were really excited about this. Like once they got over their initial intrepidation about tarot cards and the bad things maybe they had been taught about in their youth, they realized that these are actually a really fun thing. And I think they can be super helpful in just about any situation. So whether it's a life decision that you're having to make, or maybe it's just business decisions, or just needing some kind of encouragement or comfort about what you're doing at a certain time. And so I thought I'd do a podcast on this so that I can share with you my experience with tarot cards. I know some people think, and I used to, I'm totally one of those people, that tarot cards are like some kind of mystical thing that are used to foretell the future. And I think they can be used for that. And if you want to believe that, then you can. But that is, it's not the point here. It's totally not the point. And it's not how I use the cards at all, because I am definitely not a psychic at all. But I have found an amazing use for them that can really help everyone. And the way that it helps everyone is because it heightens your intuition. So, you have senses. Everybody's got all the five senses. You've got, hopefully I can name them all, your sense of smell, touch, your sight, your hearing, and feeling. I don't think I got them all because that was also touch. Well, there's one more. But you also have this gift of intuition, and that's why it's called your sixth sense, because it's separate from the other five. But we don't use it as much as we use the others, even though it could definitely be the most important sense that you have. But just like the other senses, it can be developed, it can be strengthened. And the reason why you would want to do that is so that you can become more in tune with yourself and your ideas, your goals, and your commitment. So really, tarot is just a tool. It's just a way of giving you clarity and focus. And what it can do is really help you trigger and activate your sense of intuition. And it's also a way of getting answers that you're seeking. So when I was growing up, I grew up in a fairly religious household. I did go to Sunday school every week, and I learned Christian teachings. I was taught that I should pray and read the scriptures every day. In fact, that was usually the standard answer to every question they asked. It was like, pray, raise your hand, read the scriptures. So that was really drilled into me at a very early age. But one thing I really loved about my religion was that I was taught that God can communicate with anybody. So not just a priest, not just a pastor, not just somebody who's on a higher level in leadership. I was taught that God could communicate with a child. He could communicate with anyone. And I love that idea, and I still strongly, strongly believe that idea. And whether you reach out to, whether your higher source is, you refer to them as God or the universe or just source or spirit, it really doesn't matter. It's just this knowledge that there is a higher power that is listening. And I was also taught that he could give me answers. So all I had to do really was ask, and I could get an answer. And those answers, it wasn't set in stone, like this is the only way the answer can come. No, the answers could come in any possible imaginable way. So I could hear a voice in my head. I might have a certain feeling that would validate a solution I had worked out, or he could answer me through some kind of serendipity or coincidence that would be meaningful only to me personally. He could answer me through scriptures or other books. He could answer me through ancient wisdom like Confucius. There was really no limits on the way that an answer could come from this power source. The only requirement was that I had to keep my eyes and ears open. And then on the other hand, I got some conflicting information. I was basically taught that anything that challenged my religion was completely forbidden. I'm not sure who decided which things would be on that list, but that list for sure was, tarot cards were definitely on that list. And I think it was because they were classified as mystical or superstitious. So maybe it was because using tarot cards was relying on a person, like a psychic, to interpret them instead of God or the universe. So that's probably why. But as I look back now, and even just 3 or 4 years ago as an adult, I was afraid of tarot cards because I basically had been told that they were evil. All right, I'll come back to that in a second. So a few years ago, I was also introduced to the Life Coach School podcast with Brooke Castillo. I'll link it in the show notes in case you haven't heard of it. It's amazing, amazing podcast that's definitely worth just at least going there once and seeing if it could help you. But she teaches a way of coaching and mentoring called the model. And it's a way of looking at life situations that gives you a new perspective. And it helps you to have more control over your life and your happiness level. The model itself is not hard to understand. It's not even new. But Brooke just took these ideas about how to have happiness in your life that have been around forever, and she put them and made them into this tool that can be easily used. So her coaching model is just 5 things. It's 5 words. Number 1, circumstance. Number 2, thought. Number 3, feeling. Number 4, action. And number 5, result. And these things always go in order. There's always some kind of circumstance that you have a thought about, and that thought creates a feeling, which then has some kind of action, and always a result. So these 5 things always happen together. So just as a way of like a super, super simple explanation, the circumstance is something, some kind of situation that you really don't have any control over. And it can be proven by a fact so there's no description on it. So a circumstance could be something like, I went on a walk this morning. So that can be proven by fact. Yes, I did leave. I left the house. Somebody saw me walking. There's no question about it. But if I add the word long walk into it, now it changes, because now it's more subjective. So a circumstance would be a sentence like, I went on a walk this morning, but not, I went on a long walk this morning. Do you see the difference? Okay. So she coaches people by teaching them that their thoughts create their feelings, which lead to action and results. So with that, just that simple explanation, if my circumstance was that I went on a walk this morning and my thought was that it was a long walk, my feeling might be, I am so tired and frickin' out of shape. And then that feeling that I feel it could possibly cause me to stop going on walks. And then the result would be that I would stay in an unhealthy situation. So let's switch it up. And this is basically what she teaches, because you can't change the circumstance. It's always there. But what if my thought was, now, this walk is a new beginning of health for me? Do you see how that can create a new feeling? Or my thought can be, this is good that it was challenging, because I know I will get stronger. The feeling that is created by those type of thoughts would be something like positivity, confidence, self-worth, pride in myself. And those feelings would lead to me walking more regularly and have a result of, now I'm healthier. So it's really all about the thought and what happens from there. You see how one thought can really change everything. Once you grasp this concept, it's freaking can change your life, because you are having thoughts, feelings, actions, and results in every minute of your day. And what's really cool about this is it's ancient wisdom. People have known this for years, for decades, for millennia probably, that this is how this works. So that's how I actually bring it back into the tarot. The tarot has 2 parts to it. It has the major arcana and the minor arcana. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, you guys. That's how little I know about this stuff. But the major arcana has 22 cards, and they represent a life journey. And these are important life events and lessons, which are often circumstances beyond our control. Did you catch that? They're circumstances. And then there's the minor arcana, and this section is more like a regular card deck. So each suit contains an ace through 10 and then 4 court cards. What blew my mind was when I realized what each of the 4 suits represented. You've probably guessed right. The suit of swords is thoughts. The suit of cups is feelings. The suit of wands is action. And the suit of coins is results. It's the same thing. Your circumstance, your thought, your feelings, your action, and your results. It's so cool. Seriously, I was mind blown. So that's when I realized, like with my entire heart and soul, that tarot cards were not evil, not at all. They were really based in ancient wisdom and could provide answers just like all the other ways God or the universe provided to me. And they were organized and made sense. So how can a tarot deck help you? I mean, how do you use it? You might be asking that. So, okay, all right, I get it. I can use like these tarot cards and they represent certain things, but how can I use them in my life or my business? because I'm not a psychic. I've never used tarot cards before, and I'm really not very keen on going to a psychic, so I just want to see how I can use them. That's kind of where I was, and so you may be there too. So I want to show you how you can actually very easily use a tarot deck to help you get answers. And just in case you're thinking, well, I'm not sure this is how I want to get answers. I was just thinking of trying to make a list of, okay, how do people seek answers? And I thought when I was a kid, I would use like that magic 8 ball and I would shake it. I'd be like, so does this guy like me? And it would shake it and be like, I don't think so. So that was a way to get answers. Or did you ever do this? This totally resonated with me. You sit by the window facing the road and you make a wish. And then you set an intention like, if the third car that drives by is red, my wish will come true. And then you'd wait for 3 cars to drive by. That's another way of getting answers. I think this one, especially for my more religious followers, this one might be the way that you do things. You've thought of a question that you have in your life or just need inspiration of some kind. So you just randomly flip through the Bible and maybe close your eyes and put your finger on a verse and just read that and see how that verse can apply to your situation. That's another way of seeking answers. So there really are so many ways that God or the universe or spirit can talk to you and help you get a new perspective. It's really possible to find comfort, advice, inspiration anywhere you look. And you can get an answer from a single tarot card in the same way that you can benefit from the wisdom of a quote that you found on Instagram that touched your heart. Especially if you believe that God or the universe is rigging everything in your favor and wants to give you answers and help. I'm going to just assume you're new to this idea. So for a start, this is what you can do. With a tarot deck in front of you, just shuffle. Shuffle that deck until it just feels right. Just keep shuffling and stop at some point. Think of a question that you have in your mind, and it can be something as simple as, what do I need to know about blank? Or what do I need to know about myself today? And then pull out a single card. Every deck that you buy will come with a book that will give you some insight about the card that you just pulled. So it's not just the cards, it'll actually have explanations for the cards. So you want to look at that explanation, but also trust your own curiosity and try to develop your intuition. See if the message helps you to look at your situation in a new way, or if it gives you confirmation about a choice you've made, or if it brings comfort. I've had a number of times that I've pulled a single card that just basically says, you're on the right track, keep going. This simple encouragement has brought me to tears more times than I can even tell you. So, like I said at the beginning, my first deck, the Good Tarot, is one that I can totally recommend. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but I will put a link in the show notes so that you can check it out. But it's a really good one to start with. Because it is so positive and so easy to read. When you pull a card, it will have basically a theme at the top. So it'll tell you what that card means. And then this Good Tarot will give you an affirmation that you can say out loud. I absolutely love these cards and I use them all the time. I have on retreats before we start our day, sat down with a group of women, and we each pull a card and find our own heart and inspiration in there. But they have really helped me to center and to get more clarity about life and who I am. All right, I'm going to pull a card just so you can see kind of how this works. I shuffled the deck and I'm going to pull a card out. Okay, I pulled the 9 of Air. In the Good Tarot, they name the suits a little bit differently, but the suit of Air is also the suit of Swords, which are your thoughts. So right away, I know that something I need to know about myself today is that my thoughts are important, and it addresses that. Okay, the 9 of Air. This card encourages shifting negative talk to self-compassion. From fear to possibility, it is a call to faith. Wow, that's on point for me right now for sure. Here is the affirmation. So this is what I would read out loud. With a gentle voice, I tell myself that I will be okay, that I am okay, and that any fear is merely false evidence appearing as real. I forgive myself because I know that I am a human trying the best I can, and I need only call on Spirit to remember that I can and will do better as new possibilities begin to gather on my horizon. Wow. You guys, this is so special, honestly, to me. I know I've just pulled this card randomly as an example, but this past week I've been dealing with a lot of crap going on around my house. I've got construction going on next door, and it has been making me crazy. And I have been asking myself for this past week if I'm okay, and thinking I'm not okay. And this card actually says that. It says, with a gentle voice, I tell myself that I will be okay, that I am okay. Wow. That is really special to me right now. I think it's pretty easy to see how pulling a card like this can really lift you up for the day, and regardless of your life situation or your business situation. It's really fun. It's really special. It's a way of getting a perspective. It's a way of having a friend tell you something that you really need to know. I hope that you get as much inspiration and hope from them as I have. Let me know. Put them in the comments. Reach out to me by email. All my info's on there. All right, you guys, have an amazing week. Hey, by the way, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I love doing this podcast and love talking with you guys. If you want more information, you can head on over to my website at ginakershaw.com. I do have a couple freebies over there too, if you want to check them out. And I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe to the podcast and leave me a review. I'd love to hear from you. All right, until next time, see you soon.